Hey Tony, what's going on here? Are we? Can I change this out? Yes. Is that you? Okay, awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. You are. No. What? Daryl, I know you're busy, so I want to go to parking lot. It's too easy, so last couple it's something about work. I just kind of like quickly 30 seconds. Absolutely. Sure. So, brother, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Now, that's yeah, that. Okay. We'll find out what no. You got this. I think it's called. This is a brother I know from it'll be all right. So we take it from a different, but and then I'm bringing to you. Bringing people. Oh. You know, Derek. Right? I'm sorry. Five. Man, congratulations. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, busy, busy. It's a good thing. I gotta introduce you to a friend of mine as well. All right. All right, people, it's time to find a seat and sit down so we can get this show on the road. Yay, clicker. You guys are getting really good at this settling down thing. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups DetroitMetro. If you like QR codes, you're in luck. We got 3 of them. You can stream us live, which you don't really need to do because you're here. You can present. Here's the QR code if you want to be a presenter at some point coming up. And we'd love for you to follow us on all our social media. So pick a QR code, light up your phone. It's a good time. It's not working. What is not working? Oh, turn on. You're very cute. I don't know how to turn on other than that. Oh, right here? No. There you go. See, it's fine. Obviously, I'm a tech guy. You want the tech guy. So we want you to get connected with us. We want you to find one connection here. You know, we're here. It's a great community of entrepreneurs and business people and people who like entrepreneurs and business people. So find time today. Make one connection. Follow them on social media or their Google business, their Facebook page. Leave them a 5-star review, even if you don't know them. They'll appreciate it. There should be an iPad going around for you to sign in. And there it is right there. So when it comes around to you, please sign in. This is how the venue here keeps track of how many people are here so they can keep getting their grants so they can let us come and hang out and destroy their place every Wednesday morning. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Welcome to 1 Million Cups, Detroit Metro. If you haven't been here, this is what 1MC is all about. If you have been here, well, here it is again. We are a free nationwide community built for entrepreneurs. We love turning ideas into momentum through connection. We're inclusive, honest, unfiltered startup conversations showing up every Wednesday. We're up to over 160 communities all around the country. There's a few more in Michigan. I know there's one in Ann Arbor. Is there one in Grand Rapids? Kalamazoo. So, if you're not here, go there. All right, who's in the room? How many of you are here for the first time? Raise your hand. You are not. And neither are you, George. Raise your hand because we have a gift for you. Keep your hand up. You get special gifts. So you can take notes and tell us how great we are. All right, who in the room is a past presenter? If you're a past presenter, please stand up. Exercise plan. If you're thinking about presenting them, these are the people to talk to. They'll tell you how much it helped them, or they'll tell you, oh my God, it was scary. But they're the ones to talk to. And now we would be able to run if it wasn't for our volunteers. We're a completely volunteer organization. So who here is part of our volunteer organization? I am, obviously. All right. Thank you to all volunteers. We're going to go through this again. Every Wednesday, we meet entrepreneurs, innovators, all kinds of stuff. But the basic ideas. Someone has got to a point, whether it's in their idea phase or they've been doing it for a year or two, where they've hit a wall. They're not sure what to do. They've tried some different things. You get up here and you tell us about your business. You tell us the wall you've run into, tell us what you've tried, what's worked, what hasn't. And then it's really a group brainstorm where everybody here who has an idea, has a suggestion, has something they've done before, has a connection, comes up, we line up over here and you come up and you tell them what, and even if you don't, I always learn something every week. You know, even if you're just sitting there and you don't have an idea for them, usually somebody says something, it's like, oh, I could use that in my business. Feel free to steal. We like to thank our partners. Thank you to Incubizo. That's where you are. They're the ones who give us this beautiful facility. Open Thrive. They're one of our main sponsors who help make things go. The Madison Heights Hazel Park Chamber of Commerce. I joined. You should too. Yeah. And PMP Photography. David does wonderful photography for us most weeks. I'll actually see him today. Carmen also does wonderful photography the other weeks. All right, it's time for our coffee sponsor. This is the only person who gets to actually pitch their business. Every week, somebody pays for all the coffee and treats you enjoy, and they get to come up here and gab at you for 5 minutes. Hey, come on up. Yeah, nope, I'm not. Forward. All right.
Good morning, Incubizo. Good morning, on my cups.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. So my name's Nate Title. I've been up here a couple times presenting to you folks. I'm a fellow entrepreneur as well. I own two companies in the area, or co-own both. Anypet Technologies is an IT firm in Ferndale. And then I also own Espero Partners, which is in Royal Oak, and we do recruiting and nearshore staffing, which we'll get into in a second. Before I do, just wanted to ask a couple questions so I understand the audience here today. Some of you are very familiar faces. I've been around and have schmoozed and met you guys before, but just with a show of hands, who is an entrepreneur who owns their own business in the room? All right, great majority, kind of figured. All right. Who is a solopreneur? So you're winging it, one man operation, and been doing that for a little bit. Perfect. So either just getting started or that's your business model, and that's perfectly awesome. Who of you have W-2 employees? Someone on your payroll? All right, a couple less people. And then who of you have tried outsourcing in some way? So resources that are outside of your own, either part-time or full-time. So decent show of hands. Those of you that have outsourced, can I get one person to kind of shout out some issues with your outsourcing experience? Maybe that was finding them or making a bad choice or whatever it may have been.
Yes, I have tried, using people
Okay.
to do some telemarketing, follow-up sales, so did not work out well.
How did you find them?
Well, it was by accident. I was at a trade show. And the gentleman was actually had these wonderful people on this laptop. So.
Okay.
And this people should talk to you live and tell you what they do. Well, it is scripted and tell you to do it. But in hindsight, very early on, I looked back and found they weren't as astute. When I talk about astute, they're your different language barriers. So they had to call friends. Yes, I wrote the script, but they're the consummation.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And for those that didn't hear that, she had an experience where she went to a trade show. They had an interesting display where she could talk to the people that would be doing sales and marketing for her, kind of, sold her a bit of a bait and switch. And when she got them live, they couldn't talk to clients, they weren't articulate, they failed at the job position. So, and that's pretty common. So finding them is difficult, finding them at a trade show or whatever, or winging it is fairly common from what I've seen, and I've done it. I made the mistake. And then also having a bad experience or bad English is also pretty common. So what we started doing is this exact thing. So I own a business. I have business partners on both sides, the IT side and the staffing company side. We all wanted to do this, and in various ways, we found success doing this by making lots of mistakes. So both companies are, 5+ years old. My business partners have companies that are more than 10 years old, that are much larger than mine. And they went through this process of finding someone that was offshore or near shore, as I'll explain what that means. And they just didn't work out. And they had to do it again and again and again. And eventually they found somebody. And the problem there is there's really no one to help you vet this out. There's really no one to help you make this decision and make this easier for you. So what we did to solve this problem is we came up with a nearshore as a service model. So this is a monthly service where we are your contractor of record. We find the contractors. So you tell me what you're looking for, sales and marketing, you want them certain hours, you want them doing certain things. And I find you somebody with years of experience in that area that's in Central or South America, has lots of experience, they speak perfect English, and I do not even show them to you unless they're perfect. And then you interview a couple of them, you choose who you want, and then we are your contractor. So that's essentially how this works. We started out that way. The second thing that we do now is we learned that if you're going to do staffing at all for clients, they're going to want domestic, US employees as well. So we find employees in the US if you need full-time W-2 employees. We also find we do an incredible job, my recruiters do in staffing in Latin America. So I think I went through most of this. Is outsourcing is wonderful. It is a way to save money. It is a way for companies to hire faster. So a lot of solopreneurs in the room, right? And I found myself in the same situation. You're tight on funds, you're too busy, you're overworked, you need some time. I was just talking to Melissa about this. It's hard to take the jump and hire somebody full time, especially, if you don't know, you don't know if your next paycheck's going to come in and make this work out 3 months from now. You might be relying on certain clients. And B, you may just not have the budget for it in general. So you're working yourself to death trying to make this work. You need help, but it's hard to trust that you're going to find somebody good. So who we are, local support team in Royal Oak. Our support is here, US company, US based, US product, lots of clients are happy with us. Our placements are successful the first time, obnoxiously high success rate for this product. We have a nearshore guarantee, where if it doesn't work out, you let us know, we re-recruit for you, start the process over again, you interview new candidates and we replace them. We interview and pre-vet for specific experience. English is a big one. We will rate their English ability from advanced to intermediate to standard, can understand, depending on what you need. If you need a client-facing person, they need to have advanced English. They need to have conversational English and sound fluent on the phone, especially depending on the industry that you're in and the cultural climate that we are at this moment in time. This service includes payroll, HR, equipment, or it can include equipment depending, and support. So this is an all-inclusive service and still over 50% savings versus a US domestic employee. So it's a pretty cool thing. Real results, I'm gonna go over this really fast, but event planning company, very similar, solopreneur. This was this one was in Connecticut. She's running a wedding planning company, working herself to death. She wanted to do some other things and spend time on the business more so than in the business. And she needed a basically faced with, do I hire a minimum wage employee for 15 bucks an hour or whatever it is in Connecticut? Or do I hire somebody with experience and take a risk doing this outsourcing thing? And we actually met through a referral partner of mine, a consultant, talking to her about this. And she's like, you know what? You should talk to Nate and his team. They do this all the time. They can find you somebody great. And we did. National logistics company. We have a specialty in logistics, actually. I don't know if anybody runs brokerages in here. Probably not. But we've placed 5 team members in a fairly large national organization for a very specific job role. So the interesting thing about this is more than virtual assistants. If you need somebody with specific industry experience, we can find them. It's shocking how many people already work for US companies in Latin America. Yep. 2 ways to work with us. Scale your team. Obviously, if you need someone to hire, keep my information handy. Please give me a call. I'm local here, happy to talk to you. And we don't do long-term contracts either. It's monthly. We will prove to you month over month that this product works. But the real reason I'm here is I want to recruit more referral partners. This has been a pretty successful marketing tool for me, is to, instead of going after people and just saying, hey, listen, like I offer this great product, I want to recruit more trusted advisors that work with clients. And some of you are business consultants, you may know of those people already, to become a referral partner of us and tell me when there's a need. If you hear a need out there, somebody needs to hire, they need to hire, it doesn't matter if you sell finance or anything else. Sometimes your referral network is extremely valuable. And in this case, I'm going to make it more valuable for you. $1,000 per placement. So if someone hires 5 people, you get $5,000. So we're not messing around with this. It is a wonderful product. You can look great to your client and we will pay you well. So let's connect. Call to action for today. Keep in mind, I'd love for all of you to take out your camera phones, snap this QR code. This puts me directly in your contact list. You'll have my information for both AnyPath and escrow partners. But if you find any of your clients that need this, it's easy money for you to make. It makes you look great, and it's a wonderful product that I can back with testimonials and referrals and all of that. I would love to have a conversation about it. There's no obligation to have that conversation, and we do a wonderful job with clients. So thank you very much, and I appreciate the time today.
Thank you, Dave. Right, are you ready to be helpful? That was not a good response. Are you ready to be helpful? All right, that's more like it. But first, upcoming presenters. Yeah, I don't look at the slides ahead of time. I can't tell. These are presenters coming up. We have presenters every week. As you see, we've got some some openings in April. If you're thinking about presenting, get in contact with us. We've got an opening for you coming up. And if you're ready to present, remember, it's not a pitch, it's not networking, it's a chance to get up here, tell your story, and have this group brainstorm with all of us. You can use the QR code to get to where you can sign up to present, or you can go to our site. Now we're ready to help people. Let's bring up our first presenter, Ebony Stone.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys? Good. So, like he said, my name is Ebony Stone, and I am one of the co-founders of Five Stones Memorials. And we're an independent memorial design, manufacturing, and installation company. So, what does that mean? Basically, it means we're not a cemetery, we're not a funeral home, but we can provide your headstones and monuments, right? And so, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and my co-founder over here, my husband, because before we get into what we actually do, because we often get the question, headstones, why would you do that? Right? So I'm going to tell you. I will tell you, I did not grow up a little girl saying, I just want to work in the end of life industry. That was not what I wanted to do, right? As a matter of fact, I have about 25 plus years in operations and client service experience. I spent ungodly amount of time as an executive in some of the most, I'll just say some of the largest companies in our area. Okay. But I happened to marry this guy. His mom is a cemeterian and went to morgue school, and he happened to be her sales manager. And so I was introduced to the headstone companies or the headstone industry, the cemetery industry, the funeral industry, basically the end of life industry. And so fast forward 24 years as of Monday. Thank you. We were given the opportunity to own our own company. And so we decided to expand the family brand and go ahead and own our own company. And so that's where we are. So, what problem are we solving? Well, families are asked to make decisions about end of life services at one of the most difficult times in their lives. Emotions are high, they're grieving, and they're making decisions that cost thousands of dollars. And decisions that are permanent, quite frankly, once you make the decision is made. And so we decided that we wanted to help folks get over that conversation being difficult, right? We want to have that conversation when the grief isn't high, before it actually happens. But here's the thing, people don't want to talk about it, right? So I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you guys know that you can buy a casket at Costco? Two people, right? How many of you, three, four, okay. How many of you know that you could actually have an entire memorial service and never go to a funeral, never go to a cemetery, right? A few more people. If I ask you questions like, who is, or have you ever heard of James Cole's funeral home? Have you heard of Old Pie? Yes. All right, I'm gonna throw some other names at you. Have you heard of Waiteka?
Yes.
One person, right? Have you heard of Downriver Stoneworks?
Downriver.
Maybe two people, right? Well, the difference is the thing is these companies have been in existence for generations, 4, 5, 6 generations, right? Hundreds of years. And so kind of getting into this industry, it isn't easy, but we are determined to do it, right? We provide headstones, monuments, urns, other memorial products such as jewelry, blankets, things of that nature. And then there's some secondary products that we provide as well when you think about uh, cornerstones for buildings, maybe brick paver memorial products. We provide those as well. But here's our current challenge. I told you people don't want to have this conversation, and therefore the customer knowledge is pretty low. Most customers don't know that when you walk into a funeral home or you go to a cemetery that sells headstones, they're not manufacturing them. They're buying them from us, and they're marking them up, and they're selling them to you, right? And then they got to wait on us to deliver, and we're going to service our clients first, right? And so sometimes you get these really long wait times. That's because they don't manufacture. Also, we know that they have the control because most people walk into a funeral home, they start selling, we buy from them. You're not you're not calling us. Most people are not going to Costco to buy the casket, although they keep it. They're not going there. They're just going to the funeral home and they're purchasing the package and they're paying whatever they tell them to pay, right? They don't realize they have a choice. And then there is the timing. We're trying to normalize a conversation that people don't want to have. I don't want to talk about what it looks like when I leave here or when my loved one leaves here. But I really need to have that conversation because I want to save them some money. I want to save them some heartache. I want them to be able to deal with the emotion and not have to deal with making the money decisions in that. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what have we tried? We've been in business for just over a year, about 14, 15 months. So of course we've done word of mouth, right? We're here, we're networking everywhere. We have signage on our brick and mortar. We are in the midst of a renovation, so there is signage there. We have signage in a few other places. And then we started to look at partnerships. And so we've been really successful with one, we call it an unofficial partnership. We have kind of connected with someone at a cemetery that doesn't sell headstones that sends clients our way. And then we have a referral program. There are some kind of ancillary products that people know they got to go kind of outside to get. So oftentimes people will go to a florist. People know florists. So we have some displays in some floral companies. We also have connected to some obituary companies that will send referrals to us as well. And here's what we've learned. We've learned that our unofficial cemetery partnership is really good. Like that's where I would say from the last year, that's where most of our clients have come from. The referral programs have not worked as well as we would like for them to work. I believe, and we have to do more research here, but I believe it's because people don't want to have a conversation, including the florist. The florist is like, yes, what do you want? But I'm not going to talk to you about this headstone. That's enough. I'm just right. So they're not pushing it. If someone asks them, they'll say, oh yeah, grab their card and we'll get a phone call. But they're not actively kind of pushing it for us. And then we've determined that the industry is ripe for disruption. So I mentioned that these companies are 4 or 5 generations. Also, they do things the same way they've done them for years. You would be amazed at how much paper there is in, in these organizations. You would be amazed at how they're running with 3 people, and 2 of them really just want to retire, but the kids won't take over, right? They just won't. But other players are getting into the industry. So the Costco's, or you can buy certain things on larger websites, right? And so the industry right now is ripe for disruption. And we believe that with our combined knowledge of operations, client experience, and our knowledge of the industry, that we are very well placed to disrupt that industry. So here's our community ask. The first thing that we want to ask of you is what strategies do you suggest to earn partnership opportunities in industries where key players have had long-standing relationships, right? These funeral homes and cemeteries have been buying their product from people for years, not just 2 or 3 years, 40, 50 years, several generations, right? So how do we gain those partnerships? And then second, how do we build brand awareness for a product or service that many people only search for in a crisis? How do we get people to start having this conversation ahead of the crisis? Well, thank you.
Nope, it's somebody has something. Yeah, give her another hand. All right, now comes the part where you be helpful. If you have an idea, you have a contact, if you have something you tried that's worked for you that might work for her, line up over here and we'll have you come in and give her a chat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I think you're right about the industry being ripe for disruption. And I think you're doing a lot of things right. You know, the partnership angle is definitely a powerful. Obviously, I spoke about that when I was up here. And the fact that you've got a good value pitch of buying direct from manufacturer versus inflated costs and all that. I think the one thing that I would probably focus on or that I would suggest focusing on is web presence. So when people look for, you know, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to either going to talk to the funeral home and say, hey, this is happening. Do you have a package? I just want this to be easy. This is how much I want to pay. And then the DIYers and the people that are looking to save some money are going to go online, and the first thing they're going to Google is headstones or memorial service, things like that. You want to be at the top of the list, and you also want to bring your value proposition forward. So, you know, buy direct, buy local, you know, something like that would catch somebody's attention and drag them away from one of these big guys who probably spends a lot on SEO. But SEO is not crazy expensive. You can do some of it yourself, and I know your website's under construction a little bit, but you know, really put your like value first or your value statements first, and try to drive traffic that way.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hi,
Hi.
good morning, Michelle Armstrong. I'm with my media ad agency. So a couple things that,
Speak up a little bit so we can hear you.
yes, I can.
I know we can. I know you can.
So I didn't hear much about your outreach campaign. I heard what you wanted to achieve, but I didn't hear much about an outreach campaign. And I feel like we might be in a similar generation, and we're all about change, and we're not afraid to be disruptors. And I was so pleased to see, you see that your market and your industry is ready for disruption. What if you took a bold stance about the concept? We're in a day and age where people are looking for things to talk about. Flip the script. If this is a topic that's hard to talk about, how can you create something that people would want to entertain the conversation about? Let me give you an example. Memorial. When do we remember people? Holidays, right? Birthdays, right? Anniversaries. What if you had a conversation around those times and did an outreach program to people who had birthdays or anniversaries or things like that and had a celebration while they were alive? I always tell my family, I want flowers when I can see them, not when I'm dead. So send me the flowers anytime through the year. What if we had a conversation about people's lives and captured that information for their memorial? So it's genuine, it's authentic, and it's a conversation starter totally on a different pretense and context. So there's ways that you can reach out to your market and identify those people in a given space because you said you're local. And then you can also find it. I know there was an influencer. Okay, there's an influencer in here. Find one of those and they can help you get this started.
Thank you.
Yeah. Give it go.
You're in the share, so try and keep it 30 seconds or less, and then you can talk to it more afterwards.
Yeah, we'll stay around for a while.
Hi, my name's Adam Bernard. I'm in an investment group that invested in a company that is trying to do what you were doing. Titan Caskets is a company that you should look into, follow, and because they're trying to do for caskets what you're doing for memorials. For example, they have a YouTube series where they interview celebrities inside coffins, and it's called Grave Conversations.
Wow. Okay.
So this company has done kind of upended the whole casket business, and I think there's a lot you can learn from what they're doing and the messaging and the partnerships and the branding that they're doing that would apply to your business.
Yes, thank you
And
so much.
by the way, I think it's great that your name literally ties in what you do, and I think you should play off of that. Not a lot of people can tie literally their last name to the family business.
True. My husband always reminds me he gave me that name. So
Hi, I'm Lindsaya, and a couple of things. I would recommend if you haven't really optimized your Google profile. I lost my mom last year, and I will say that definitely having, because local searches are going to come up, play off the family owned, because that is definitely something that I think people are looking for. And the final thing is in social media, because it is taboo. When you talk about the taboo, you do create the pause, which is where you're going to generate traffic and interest. So I would tackle it head on, maybe even adding in some comedy and make sure that you aren't shying away from the fact that we are all going to pass one day. And so playing into that and making the storytelling powerful, impactful, and maybe even a little funny would definitely be a potential spark.
Very nice, yeah.
all right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was thinking, right away, my business is in real estate. So how do I get in front of that? I do a lot of the senior real estate business, and obviously those folks are this way too. So how do I get there before everybody else? If I was you, I'd start talking with estate attorneys. They're already having that tough conversation when they're putting together that trust for somebody. I don't know how many people in this room have trust for themselves. And part of that process is talking about end of life and what happens. So why not partner with somebody like that that is already having that tough conversation that can slide you?
Yes, thank you.
Well, he took part of my conversation.
Anyway, my background.
Walk up a little bit so you can see.
So they can see. I was a paralegal by trade. Okay. And so the area that I dealt with is a criminal, civil, and wills and trust. And what I want to let you know that there are a lot of people who are interested in having that conversation. And so I would say to try to connect with and get partnerships with attorneys that are in wills and trusts because they have a lot of contacts with people who are concerned about getting that will together and everything like that and making those types of preparations. And then the other thing is if you can probably go to some senior citizens, there's so many different senior citizens apartments and different things that you may be able to set up a meeting where you can go in and talk about, preparing for that time, because a lot of people want to transfer their things to their family and other different types of things. So that's something that you really need to think about. And you can really connect with that. People do love to talk about, those days. And I'm so glad that you're here because I'm going to school and I'm reading to some students. And I'm going to be reading to them about a story about a man who wanted to have a funeral, but he wanted the funeral while he was alive. So I'm going to be talking about that particular story today. Interesting. Thank you.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Couple things I was gonna say has already been spoken, so I'm not gonna speak on it.
Speak up a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, one of the things I saw, I just buried my brother last year. And one of the things that I thought of was when you go to a funeral home to talk about, okay, we're gonna do it here, this. And you have insurance. They suck up all of that insurance money right there on the spot.
Yep.
So what you want to do, what I would think I would do, is I would try to find out, okay, what churches that I can come in and speak at. Not anything long and drawn out, nothing like it's horrible.
but educating them on what their choices are. Because when they get those checks and the insurance, they pay off and get it in 24, 48 hours. When you take and you go to that, they're gonna take every dime, because once they look at the check, they suck it up. To educate people that the process, like you said, buying your casket, you can order your own casket. You can get your headstones, you can get pillows to get out to the immediate family members. That's how you try to utilize getting that money in using it. And then whatever's left, will reimburse you, whatever's left in the check, you give it back to them. People then feel like they have a choice because you're already stressed out. But for people, again, like I said, large groups of people, that want to that meet in one congregation, you can do a whole presentation on why that's important. And when we think about leaving something to our children or nephews, grandchildren, that insurance money is a part of that process. So I would focus on them, try to hone in on some of those folks. Lawyers are great if they're having, like right here, we have a senior group. And you might be able to get with them and talk to seniors.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina.
Great job today.
Thank you.
I was also going to say churches for sure.
Okay.
But the church that I go to is actually doing a death planning session. And so I think you can also just look for local events that are around planning for end of life and be able to access some of those and to kind of see if you can be helpful and insert yourself there in the education campaign. So, but yeah, churches for sure.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lance from Clear Performance Ads. First,
So you gotta come in the camera a little bit. That way, yes, perfect, thank you.
thank you. And I work in digital advertising and marketing. And first off, thank you for saying the what I've learned or what we've learned section on there, because I think that helps other people hear with their own strategies. So I appreciate you picking up on that. 3 strategies to keep in mind that they could help you. One, I know there's a lot of demand for people searching for headstones, actually increasing with a lot more people trying to be proactive nowadays. So a Google search campaign could be really beneficial for you, at least to test. Meta, there are audiences for end of life planning. So it's something we're testing there on the meta ad side. And then third, this is more like future proof, but something that a lot of companies are doing nowadays is make an FAQ page on your site that is AI optimized, because people type in these AI engines questions all the time. And if your questions can answer, if your answers can answer the questions on your FAQ page, you're more likely to get SEO ranking going forward.
You doing that?
Good, how are you?
I know you personally, great people. First of all, my name is Mike from Muse. And I think one thing with your business is create a memorial maintenance plan on cleaning the headstones, having a monthly subscription, and also having a QR code maybe attached to the headstone. And when birthday time come around, have certain images pop up, created film. So it's a reason for them to come to the site and a reason for them to celebrate. And then that's just extra income. But then one company that I've worked with in the past is Assure for Life. They have a large network with funeral homes all over the country. And that's the one piece they do not have.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Hello,
Hi, great.
good. Jawan Buford, business solution sales management professional, investment advisors. We're having these conversations all the time, and our clients want to have these conversations with us. Insurance agents, same deal. Especially now the economy is getting ready to tighten. Those are 2 industries that are going to be looking for ways to generate additional revenues. Someone already mentioned it. Estate planning attorneys, real estate. These are people already having the conversations. A way that I will reframe is that it's not that people don't like to have this conversation. You need to talk to the people who like to have that conversation.
Okay.
Okay. So there's people in here who are involved with social media, marketing, et cetera, et cetera. They can help you identify people who are searching for end of life conversations and solutions like that, right? The other thing that you hear people say oftentimes, if you can't beat them, join them. No, if you can't beat them, buy them. I want you to start thinking about seller financing. I know several owners of funeral homes and other businesses that are in your industry, and you're right. The next generation doesn't want it. And the parents want to go golf and they want to spend time with their grandchildren and they want to walk away from the business. Some of them can't climb the stairs anymore. You walk in there, you say, look, 100K for the next 10 years. You remain. And then we'll set up some type of balloon payment where I can pay off the remainder of the business. But that way you get buy-in, the person sticks with you because they have the relationships. You don't want to lose that. They can help train your staff, they can help train the individuals that are there while you slowly but surely take over the business, not have to come out $2-3 million or $10 million to acquire. So I want you to be thinking critically about that because those businesses are gonna either stop because the person falls down the stairs and doesn't want to do it anymore. The kids run into the grounds, they really don't want it. Or someone like you comes around and offers someone seller financing. I'd encourage you to research that. 70% of these business owners in that industry over the next 10-15 years are gonna go kaput. So somebody needs to make the offer to you.
Thank you.
We need to move on to the next presenter, so just give her a fact.
Oh, yes, so she's the Detroit area agency on aging, and all of those, we're in the sandwich generation now. So anywhere we can go and educate those caretakers.
Okay.
So, Alzheimer's associations, dementia associations, that's all. Okay, so good.
You'll have to talk to her afterwards.
Thank you.
Lots of good. No.
One thing.
I do. I want to know advice you got today. What's the one thing you want to accomplish or that you can accomplish right away?
There's so much. There's several companies that I want to go look at, but the casket company that's doing what we want to do for caskets, I'm gonna go check it out.
That's really pretty cool.
Yes, I think, yes.
All right, give her a big hand, everybody. All right, we want to bring our next presenter up. Downtime with Roderick Harris. Right, come on up. Hello, we need to associates. How's everyone doing today? Good. Good. My name is Roderick Harris, right? I also go by Rod, and I'm the founder of Downtime. So what you're looking at is the pilot page for Downtime's business side. What Downtime aims to do is bridge the gap between businesses and the communities they serve, enabling everyone everywhere to make the most of their downtime. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Detroit. I went to Detroit Country Day, moved to LA when I was 19 with a hope and a dream. Out there for 10 years, started working in big tech like Google, Instacart, Airbnb. Recently moved back because I lost my mother to help with the family. And since I've been here, I've been networking, trying to find something to solve. I feel like I've got the ideas, and it's now just about finding the right thing to work on and the execution to make it happen. For me, the biggest thing that I love to do is host, party, get people together, live better lives. I'm the guy that gets all my nieces and nephews and go to Cedar Point. I'm the guy that gets my brothers and sisters and do the barbecue. For me, the third space, that space outside of work and home, gathering, getting people together is critical for me. So I created a website called downtime.life, which if you click on this, it's like I wish I could reach it. You click that. Yeah.
Use the pointer.
There's a pointer?
Pointer.
Okay. All right. So Downtime is pretty neat. What it does is you give it your location and then it shows you everything you can do around you at that specific moment, making you the center of your universe. Okay. So this is live all the way from Rochester down to Dearborn Heights. If you click the use my current location, allow this time, I won't steal your data. Go to data. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something went wrong. Don't worry about it. We'll keep moving. Okay, I'm gonna fix that. So, oh, there it is. There, we're working. Okay, so it shows you everything open is categorized. This is V1. What this means is I've got a really good idea of what I want the second version to look like. I built this back in October using AI.
I'm not a software developer, but using the tools today allows me to be able to create whatever I want. So as you can see, it's categorized by food, parks, outdoors, coffee, work, etc. The second version of this will be more user-generated content. So instead of you just seeing let's say roasting plant coffee, you'll be able to see the user generated content from that location. So as you travel around the world, you're able to take advantage of the things you wouldn't know about and see the local content created at that specific place. So I want you to imagine going to downtown Detroit. You get out of a conference, you're like, hey, I'm hungry. What can I eat? You pull up Downtime, you give your location. Now you're in the middle of the world where you can access anything and everything near you that's open at that moment. Okay. So that was my baby, right? And everyone's like, how are you gonna make money, Rod? Like, that's a cool idea, but like that's a lot of time, a lot of effort. How is this gonna work in the world? How are you gonna pay yourself? So that's when I started working on the business side. So what I learned is every business owner, small business owner, and there's a bunch of you in here, and I'm speaking to you, who have a Google, who have a Yelp, who have a Maps page, who have your own website. Updating basic things like your hours is extremely difficult, right? Say you need to close, you gotta go pick up your kids from elementary school. Someone ran with the scissors the wrong way. You gotta take care of us. If you leave work, you have to technically put the hours as closed, right? But what does that mean? You have to go into Google, go into settings, go to your hours, change the hours. You gotta go to Yelp, go into the settings, change your hours. You gotta go to your website, right? This is extremely difficult. For someone like my boy, shout out to the Gaijin. I mean, anyone been here to the Gaijin in Hazel Park? It's a sushi restaurant right there on 9 Mile. You gotta try it out. It's really good. He's a solo founder, solo owner, right? Does his thing. Opens late, but he can't tell the world about it because it's so difficult. So he just uses Yelp. He can't use his Google. He can't use his website. So I found a solution. Introducing Downtime, right? Every platform, one text. Can you scroll down for me? Okay, keep going. We can get to, we got a lot to get through. Okay, cool. So how it works. Step one. Is this on a timer? It's going to switch. All right, connect all your platforms. Super simple. You connect your Google, connect your LinkedIn, connect your website, whatever it is. Step two, you text us. You say, hey, I need to close at 5 p.m. today. My bot does everything for you. You put your phone away, you get back to work. Very simple. Beyond hours, shout out to Google. And I'm so excited to be standing here for you today. For the past 3 months, I've been trying to get access to Google's API, meaning I can do everything on your Google business profile without you, right? I can do, excuse me, I can do happy hours. I can do special events. I want you to imagine a world next time you're looking for food, instead of you just seeing the name of a restaurant, you see the special that they have at that moment, right? That's what I built. And I just got it Wednesday. What's today? Today's Wednesday? I just got it Monday. Sorry, today's Monday. So since I've been waiting for the past 3 months for that, I had to figure out a way to make money. And I just locked the heck in on creating AI software. Can you pull up Heather's music room? So in order for me to get access to Google Business Profile, they said you have to have a legitimate business on our website, and they have to have, excuse me, they're like the Google Business Profile. They have to have a legitimate profile with us, and they have to have a website. So I found this sweet little lady in Utica. She taught me how to do. I used to do vocal lessons. Don't judge me. I like to sing every now and then, but she taught me how to sing a little bit, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna make you a website, right? As you can see, this is your boy's vision right here. This is me. This is all me. Everything you see, I built. Do you have the sound on?
No.
No sound? I ruined it. Anyways, you can't put sound on your computer. Just press the sound button. Good night. Anyways, you go to heathersmusicroom.com. Press start your music journey. You can pick the instrument you want, and as you go through her website, you can listen to that instrument. As you move around, it interacts with you. It's a really cool experience. She absolutely loved it, and it gave me my access to Google Business Profile. So I said, why stop there? If I can build this in a 2-hour span, let's see what else I can do. Can you go to pimpin.life? Oh, there it is.
I had this music room.
And you can scroll down, you can see, this is her website I built for her. Super, super sweet lady. She's dope. Go to pimpin.life. That other one I had you had open. You can exit out of this.
I got that mic.
And we're almost done. I know. Okay, so another thing, right? I had 3 months, so I'm like, let me keep building. Let me try to make some money. I come to these events all the time, and you know what's so annoying to me? I get 30 business cards. When I tell people I'm solving this hours thing for them, they're like, "Yo." Oh, by the way, the first 6 months are free for all Metro Detroit businesses. So if you're a Metro Detroit business, give me your information. I'll let you try it for free for 6 months. Okay. But I get those business cards and it's so annoying, right? Like I promise you, I'm not kidding. I got over 200 business cards at home. I've responded to maybe 5 of them. It's difficult for me to do that. So I built an app that allows me to get through that process very smoothly. The app is dope. You take a picture of the business card, you take a selfie with the person. It takes the information from that business cards, creates an email for me, sends an email with my calendar invite within seconds. It's called Pimp. It's built. I'm testing it. I have a few of my friends testing it this week. It's going to be a free app on the App Store. It's going to be my first app that I've launched. But I just want to show you my creativity. Tap to start pimping.
Right after this, what does your community ask for our community?
Okay, cool. So if you scroll through, it tells you more about what the product I built. What's my ask for today? Honestly, and to be as candid with y'all, I'm at this place where I feel like I've got a lot of talent, like in a lot of products, and any of them could be the one that gives me. My goal is to be able to raise a family and just be a father. You feel me? So I want money to do that. Any of these, I do see a lane to venture money and actually growing globally. Um, my ask for you today is to help me see the gaps in my logic, help me find the opportunities and the direction that I'm not thinking about correctly. Or if you think any of the products I showed you today is the one, I would love to know that too. I'm an open book. Rip me apart or build me up, don't matter. We're gonna keep pushing. All right. Who can help this dude? Line up over here. And when we keep pushing in the middle, it's because we have a YouTube audience that's watching. We want to be able to see your lovely face. You gotta give me like a little piece of tape or something. I'm like looking at people trying to like.
Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
I love it. One thing I like about this is if you're in a new city, you get out, it's 10 o'clock at night, you can pull up stuff, but you got to go through every restaurant to see who's open at 11 o'clock at night. If you could take this and go, I want to see every restaurant 11 o'clock at 11 o'clock. It sounds like you're able to do this if they put the correct information in. That would be a great feature. I think people would really love that. Even Detroit, what's open at 10 o'clock at night in Southfield? What's open at 11 o'clock in Dearborn or in Canton or in Clarkston? To be able to see that, especially for someone new, or even someone that just who's not normally out at night, but maybe coming home from an event and say, hey, I need to grab something to eat. What's open? I don't want to go to Taco Bell. They rob me.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know what's open. I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah, Taco Bell is crazy expensive.
I think part of it is you have a bunch of really good ideas, and I think you need to get one to the top of the list. And the PIP one I find intriguing because I don't think there's anything quite like that out there. Plus, you don't need to rely on a lot of external data. It's all you to create it and get it out there. The other thing is Downtime sounds interesting, but I just read about an upgrade to Google Maps with Gemini integration.
2 days ago.
I have a feeling Gemini will be able to do a lot of what Downtime does. Obviously, it's going to like big data and yours is, homespun. But I think the PIP thing has the most potential, and it's something that you can have more control over because you're not relying on all those external sources.
Thank you.
Hi there. My name is Melissa McLaren Davis, and I love the presentation. I love the energy. And to answer your question on what you should do, and you're doing a lot. Obviously, your core strength is that you love to solve problems. If it's a problem for you, you'll solve it. I think right now, really, I couldn't answer which one you should pick because I think you need to look at the strategy in terms of if I want to be a business owner, which one of these has the least amount of friction? Obviously, the external forces that could come and eat my lunch within a day. So you need to kind of sit down and create the strategy as which one would get you to your goals, which is like I want a family, I want to feed my family, and I want to excel at that. So you just need to understand like where your goals are first, and then from there you'll be able to pick and decide that. And that's just going through a strategic exercise to be able to do that and understand there's going to be lots of things in terms of businesses that you're going to love to do that are great, and there's going to be a lot of things that you hate. So, and which can you deal with? That's it.
Thank you so much.
How you doing? Enjoyed your presentation. What came to mind though, in part because of time. Okay. I got kids. I'm a dad, and my daughter is in college, and she's trying to figure out this adulthood thing. She's always away doing her own thing. So safety came about. Maybe possibly, and it might be means to differentiate yourself from Google and all the others that are already kind of in that space a little bit. Is if you're able to tell me if I'm in Chicago, one of the first things going to be, and I'm gonna say, I don't know if you can figure out a way to gather those statistics, crime in the areas and whatnot, but that would make it more interesting for me. I could pop in and say, hey, I want to go over here to the south side, but is this club, that restaurant, or barber shop in a halfway decent area, or is it high crime? Just a thought. Thank you.
Good morning, great presentation. Nishan from Detroit Strong Jam. I think me listening to how knowledgeable and creative you are, I think the thing that's missing in the industry is an app for entrepreneurs. So you having collecting business cards, you can actually have a profile like this, like a Facebook or Instagram, where you just have entrepreneurs that can be on it or businesses so they can connect directly within the app. So instead of Facebook seeing, someone that has a bake store, someone that has like me a gym, someone that has, health and wellness stuff, someone that's a podcast, like you just have all of many businesses, solopreneurs, big businesses. So now you can get this business card, enter their profile, and they may have to pay, to have it sponsored or something like that. And they're just connecting, just like all business cards.
Have you heard of Coffee Space?
No.
You got to check it out. It does that for like it vets the entrepreneurs to make sure they're real.
Okay.
But yeah, I hear you. Check it out.
But I loved your presentation and keep it up.
Appreciate the energy.
Man, great presentation. Daryl with First Still Marketing and Duracell. Let's see, that's the music company. I thought we were gonna do a duet together.
Oh, we still can.
All right, 3, 2. Oh, you got good energy, man. So, in something that throughout my events and even throughout my consultations is figuring out the engine, which is the moneymaker, so that you can be a dad and you can be a father and you can be with your family and fill in the gap of fulfilling that third space. I like that you said that. You have something great. Downtime, I think, is the best because I can just text you like, hey, Versatile Marketing is closed for St. Patty's. I'm out cold. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you are too. So, I think branding that, making social media videos after you solidify the website and you solidify which one you're going to put more of your energy toward, literally making a social media video out of a case study. So, someone texting the AI, not showing the Google part, and then showing the relieved entrepreneur or even them on a beach or something like that. Honing in and making content and telling people what this awesome technology does. You are already, I don't think there's a lot of gaps. I think it's just picking one and going with it, promoting it, talking about it. I can't wait to talk after this. Thank you, Roderick.
Thank you. Good to see you, bro.
Too.
Great presentation. To answer your question on kind of like which direction I would go, I agree. And I think Downtime is probably the one with the best potential. I would personally use it. And something that I get annoyed of from other apps, like looking for things to do in the area, is how much I have to keep scrolling.
Yep.
So if you can make, like whether it be texting or in the app, a succinct list, maybe the top 5 or 10 recommendations, and then, maybe not a lot of blurb underneath, and prevent people from having to spend more of their time scrolling. I think that could differentiate yourself in terms of the speed element that you're going to be competing against the large players on.
Yeah, what apps are you using right now?
Honestly, I use Google Maps a lot, Apple Maps, and that's kind of where I get annoyed of all the scrolling. And in addition to like AI things, but the scrolling and the time it takes, something that annoys me.
Yeah, there's no good competitors right now. Thank you for your suggestion.
Second. Yep.
Good morning. I'm Nate. You had a great presentation and you're a really creative guy. So I love what you're doing with all of these. My comment is more about the app. Yeah, I love the idea. So the fact that if people love taking selfies with each other, especially at networking events and stuff like that, it helps you bond with somebody that's a total stranger and get their information and all that. If you're marketing it as a business card collection tool, just to give you some tough love, the name is not. So, like you're very. I'm gonna say it, I don't know who else was thinking it, but it's just limiting your market. Women are gonna be afraid of using it. Business professionals are certainly not going to have, I'm not going to whip out my Pippin app and like pip you together. And as you were scrolling through, I'm just like, this is such a good idea, and it's marketed to such the wrong crowd. But like have two, like you have a crowd that would love the Pippin app. Like I think it's a cool idea, and I'm a millennial, and like it resonates. College people, whatever, or maybe I don't even know if that would resonate with them anymore. But that's awesome, but make a business free. Make something that's more accessible to women, professionals, the full gamut, but the idea is really cool.
Thank you. It has 2 modes. It has work mode, which will share. By the way, the picture goes as a virtual card with your contact.
Okay.
So it'd be the picture that you and that person took saved for that contact.
All right.
And then there's work and play mode where you can share your LinkedIn, your business phone, and then play mode is your Instagram, your social, etc. So you can use it when you're out at the club, when you're at a conference, at something like this. But I feel you. It's the people I've met platform.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all thought I was just pimping. Oh.
The people, the film platform would definitely resonate.
Yeah.
Also go state, I think.
People are love that explanation. So it's like a new version of LinkedIn, but Pippin.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So I love both ideas. So what I want to focus on is the downtime. I play around with it. I've been downtown after this. I'm like, let's see what's going on. Looks like, are you just pulling much APIs?
Candidly, I haven't touched it since maybe November.
Okay.
So the data is it's just proof of concept.
Okay. Because I'm looking for coffee shops and I see Tim Hortons, Starbucks. Right. You missed a lot. So what I was thinking about is what I do a lot of times when I go to new cities, new places, like you got the Yelps, you got the Reddits, Reddit's a wealth of information. I don't know if there's you can build an agent to pull in data and autofill or where our influencers hitting up. So I went to Lucky's in Detroit and there's an influencer at Lucky's in Corktown this weekend. So kind of, if there's that kind of data to pull in, autofill, fill in the blanks. I love the idea. There's happyhour.com. I think there's like pull in from them who's got what when. So I love it all in one situation where I don't have to go to Reddit, I don't have to go to Yelp, I don't have to go to Google Maps, just go Downtime. It's all there. I love the way it's set up.
I 100% agree. V2, so the capabilities when I first built it to what we have today, completely different. The version I have today in my opinion. I don't even want to show y'all until I'm ready to show everybody. You feel me? It's really it's a different. It's nothing like what you see. It's more of an experience as opposed to like just a list. So I hear you. I'll take that feedback, but I'm telling you, wait on B2. B2 gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's me beta testers. I'm like, before yes, release it to us and we'll test it out. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Alright, you heard a lot of good stuff. If you're gonna pick one thing that you could try and do right away, what would it be? Or just your favorite?
This pilot, I've got a pilot. I'm working with Gloss Collective. It's a Detroit venture capitalist company here. My fifth meeting with them today. We're trying to get 500 businesses in Metro Detroit to try our product for 6 months. If you have Google, Yelp, website, you're annoyed, you want to test it out for me, hit me up. Check me at downtime.life/pilot. And then I'm gonna have Pimp on the App Store within the next few weeks if you want to help me test that too. I do custom software development. So I'm headed to a real estate firm in Bloomfield right now after this to help them build some native AI systems within their workflows. If you need that, hit my line. The one thing I'm taking away from today is like, there's life for me here. I used to think that California was the only place I could,
Oh, it's downtime.
I guess, do this. But I'm grateful for this and I'm thankful for everyone that came up. So thank you. Yeah.
Thanks. Good luck. All right, we have a couple of workshops coming up that we want to let you know about. Juwan, you want to come up and talk about yours?
You got 30 seconds. We're already.
We're way behind.
You said 30 minutes?
Yeah. We know it's hard for you to work in 30 seconds. That's right.
All right, so I have questions. How many of you feel like you're the hero in your business every single day? In other words, if you don't get up, go to work, sales don't get made. Okay, great. How many of you are having difficulty finding talent or scared to onboard talent? Because let's be real, you onboard those individuals, there's a cost, right? And you want to make sure that they're profitable. And that's part of the reason why people are oftentimes fearful about onboarding talent. Anyone ever felt that stress before? Anyone ever been in a situation where you've had sales one day, 1 month, 1 week, but then the following week, the following month, the following year, sales drop off precipitously? Anyone ever experienced that before? All right, fantastic. So that's what that sales mastery class is ultimately all about. My professional background is that of a former investment advisor. I've worked in the real estate industry, also worked within the B2B space. As an investment advisor, I managed a team of approximately 30 individuals. I know what it's like to have a $30,000 a day. I know what it's like to have a $1 a month, right? I was able to duplicate that success in the direct sales industry and then turn around and duplicate that success again in the real estate industry. That's what this class is ultimately all about. Creating a situation where you're not having to wake up and be the hero every single day to generate sales, but more importantly, attracting, retaining, and putting the right butts in the right seats so you can actually build a business that generates revenues independently of you. Sound exciting? Yes. Something we'd be interested in? Sure. All right, so if you're about that life, come to the workshop March 25th at 10:45 at Incubizo. Be glad to see you.
All right, we have another workshop coming up. Hey, you can tell us about that one.
Hi, everyone. Today we're hosting a workshop on productivity, which is going to be right after this event from 11 to 12:30. But the event is really about productivity. This is not about like how to maximize and do everything. This is really about a workshop about being intentional, purposeful, and a holistic approach to productivity, where you can do the things that you really want to focus in life, which I have found it to be your health, your wealth, which it could be your career or your business, and really relationships. And that's what really this workshop is really about. You're gonna get deep quickly. So it's not something you come, I'm gonna be teaching you, but this is like where you can be hands-on, where you're gonna be asking questions. And this is years of me doing testing on myself and on my clients. But really this is where you're gonna just learn and like create your own activity that aligns with your life.
All right, you ran a little long. Thank you for your patience. We have one more thing we want you to ask you to do, and it's to get in the middle and smile.
All right.
It's picture time.
If you presented, you can come up to the front. If you are on this side of this pillar, I cannot see you. If you're in the back, take a step forward. Fill this gap where Mike is standing. So if you'd like to stay and work until attending and scanning the QR code to sign up for Shane's workshop, you are able to do that. Just go work upstairs now. Around 10:30, we're gonna lower our voices a little bit so that the people with offices and the other people in the space can work. But yes, jump on over. Thank you all for coming. Hold on.